Hello, hello. Yeah. If everybody is able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. If there is no issues with the audio or the video, guys, please do let me know. Hello, everyone. I hope that I'm audible to you guys. No issues. Everything is fine. Okay, that's great. So, how are you guys? I know that it has been a very long time since my last class. So, I apologize for the same. There were some family issues that I had to deal with, so I had went on a small break. Okay. My health is also fine. Like after coming from the holidays, I got COVID as well once again. So it took me some time to recover. But from now onwards, we'll be having regular classes, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Okay, great. So let me know, guys. How are you? Did you like in the meanwhile? We started posting out the Java tutorials as well. So have you guys been able to follow up and along with the same or not? Like I told you guys that we have our Java tutorials that we have been posting out on the channel as well. So are you guys able to follow along with it or not? We have made sure that the Java tutorials that have been posted up on the channel are like from the most beginner level to the most advanced level itself, so that you guys are able to learn Java at one go. So were you guys able to follow a bit about the same, or were there any problems that you're facing? If you guys would be able to let me know, I would be able to like make sure that that is also handled accordingly. Please do let me know, guys. The timings will be same. Yes, Rishabh. We are like having the timings that will be the same as this one itself, because there are 3 boot camps that I have to take on a regular basis right now. So one of them will be starting out from the 4 p.m. That is the Java boot camp, and then there's the 2 other boot camp that will be starting at I think so 6 and 8. So that will be the timings for all the 3 boot camps that we'll be having throughout the day. Okay. Uh, Riddhi, you could check out the playlist. I think so that we have uploaded, like updated the playlist as well for this particular bootcamp. You can go to the channel, go into the playlists, and just search for Java. You will be able to find the playlist for this particular bootcamp. If you want to revisit the previous day's work as well. So even though I was not having a bootcamp, I'm able to see that. Garvit Jail has forgotten everything means he has not revised anything of the class itself. That's absolutely very wrong of you, Garvit. Like, this is not what I expect. Like, when you are learning something, anything new, you should continue like expanding your knowledge on that as well. Like I said, the boot camps are just like a beginner level introduction to the topic. You need to go a bit in depth throughout the same. Okay, why we got break? So basically, there were some family issues that I had to deal with, so I had to go back home. And once I came back from my home, I got COVID. So due to that entire reason, we had to postpone the boot camp because I wasn't able to take it up. Okay. Okay. How are you right now? Right now, I'm absolutely fine. That's the reason why I'm taking 3 boot camps a day, so that I'm able to cover up the previous boot camps and start with the new ones as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, so shall we start off with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, great. So let's get started. I will do a small revision. Okay, just like explaining the topic array. Okay, like just 1 or 2 things that I need you guys to remember it correctly, and then we'll start with the insert. So do you guys remember in the last class, like the third day class, that I'm not talking about that, like in this day 2, when we were doing Java and we were coding something in Java as well. Do you guys remember what was the problem statement? Like what were we coding? Can you guys remember that? Please do let me know. And you guys remember the same? What were we coding in the day 2 class? Does somebody remember that? Please do let me know, guys. Yeah, of course, the topic is the array. So, of course, we'll be coding an array, but array is just the tool. So, what were we doing with array in the second day class? Again, guys, on the day 2, what were we coding in array? Like, what was the problem statement? The last problem that we solved. Searching an element. That's absolutely clever, guys. So we saw on how to search an element through an entire array. In this particular class, what we are going to do is how to insert an element into an array. Okay. So we'll keep it very small. We are going into short breaks itself so that you guys are able to understand everything very properly. So let's do one thing. Let's first of all open up Paint so that we are able to understand the problem statement. So when it came to our previous class, what we were doing was we had an array. Okay, we had an array like this and like an array. So in Java, what is indexing? Okay, in Java, what is the type of indexing that we are having, guys? Can somebody remind me? What is the type of indexing that we are having in Java? Can somebody remind me, guys? What is the type of indexing in Java, guys? Can somebody remind me? Starts from 0. That's absolutely clever, guys. So we were having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the indexing in the array. We had been given a normal array, let's say like has 27, 32, 1, 54, 20 and 6 right over here. These were the elements in the array, and we had to find a particular element. Let's say we want to find the element 54 inside the array. So in the searching process, it had to return the index. If it was present in the array, it had to return the index of that element as the answer. And if it was not present, let's say 60 is not present in the array. So if it is not present in the array, it had to return -1 as the answer. So that was the linear search that we talked about. Of course, linear search is one of the basic searching methods. There are binary searches and other methods of searching as well. That would be far more advanced for you, but we coded a bit in Java so that we are able to get a grasp of the programming language, as well as we were able to do stuff in Java as well. Now in today's class, what we are going to do right now is we are going to see how to insert an element into an array. Okay, that will be our problem statement. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Great. Now, as far as this particular class goes, we will be dealing with a fixed size array. So guys, do you remember there were two type of arrays that we talked about in our previous class? Do you guys remember that? The fixed size array and the dynamic size array, guys. Do you guys remember the same? Fixed size arrays and dynamic sized arrays? Great. So in the last class, we were dealing with a dynamic sized arrays and we were using array lists for that particular fact. In today's class, what we are going to do is we are going to use a fixed size array for the inserting. Of course, we'll first look at some examples, try to get a good understanding about the problem itself. Anytime that you're starting any problem, try to first understand the problem statement. Don't directly go into the coding aspect. Otherwise, it becomes very hard at a later point of time to understand what you want to do. Okay. That's absolutely clever, Sita. That's right. I don't know why, but Susie is barking for the past 5 minutes. If there's any background noise or something like that, guys, please try to ignore it. I hope that won't be an issue with you guys. Okay, great. So let us get started with the same. It's clear. So the voice is also clear. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so let us take an example. So we are going to take up a fixed size array itself. Let us take an example right now, first of all. So let's say that we are having an input array, let's say of size 5. Okay, we are going to get Amit Shukla. I hope that the name of the video specifies it's very clearly that this is the DSA, not DSA, but the arrays in Java that has been continued. So I hope that It is evident from the fact of the title of the video. Okay, no issues in that. So we will be taking up a fixed size array of size 5. Okay, so this is a size 5 array right over here. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so now our array size is fixed at 5. Okay, it can differ with this, but just for this particular example, okay, just for an example, I'm fixing the size as 5. Okay, this is not a dynamic sized array. We cannot go beyond the capacity of the array itself. Okay, so for example, if I've specified that, okay, this array is of size 5, it is going to consistently remain at the size of 5 itself. It is not going to convert into 7 or something like that. Okay, we cannot add like a sixth element into the array. Okay, so right over here, let's take up the first example. Let's say we are having an array of, let's say, 5 10 and 20. Okay, this is our array that we are having. As you're able to see, the size of this array is just 3, but I previously said that this is a fixed size array of 5 elements. Okay, but this is smaller than that. Isn't that a dynamic size array? No, a dynamic size array is a particular condition in which number of elements exceed the current capacity of the array itself. So you have to like just double up the entire array to insert more elements. Now when I'm saying that the capacity of the array is 5, you can have 5 or less than that number of elements inside the array. Okay, so that is the basic like understanding about the array. So even though I'm having like 5 10 and 20, if you are representing it visually, it will look something like this. We look at 5 10 20, and then the rest of the 2 blocks will have nothing in it. Okay, will have nothing in it. Okay, so that is how it will be stored. Now if I'm seeing right over here, let's say that I want to insert, okay, I want to insert the value of 7 at the position of, let's say, index 2. Okay, I want to add the element 7 at the index 2. Okay, so what will be the final array? Can somebody write it down in the live chat, guys? Please do let me know. Can somebody let me know, like, if I want to insert an element that is having the value of 7 at the position 2, what would be the final array, guys? Can somebody let me know what would be the final array, guys? That's absolutely clever, Amit. Okay, it would be the final answer. So let me just put it in green so that it's the final answer. It will be 5, that is at index 0, 10, that is at index 1. Now we are inserting, we are not replacing. We want to insert something at index 2. At index 2, we will be having 7, and 20 will move on to index 3. And then the last index will have nothing. So this is the final array that we will be getting at the end. Okay, this is the final array that we'll getting at the end. Now, are you guys able to understand this insert that happened right over here? We are not replacing something. We want to insert something. What do you mean by inserting? So if there is a person and I'm having a knife, I'm inserting the knife into that person. It isn't that his lungs and the stomach, I will replace his stomach by my knife. No, that is not what is happening. I'm just inserting it. The stomach is still there. It just makes the space for the knife. If many of you have seen like Crime Patrol or something like that, I think so you will be able to understand. Okay, so we are just inserting something. We are not replacing anything out there. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. I will be coming to that example as well, Pawan. I'm just trying to make sure that if we are going line by line, that you guys are able to understand everything properly. Okay, now let us take this particular as the second example. Okay, let us, so this example, you guys are able, yeah, don't try like my insert example at home. Okay, it had been performed by professionals. Okay. So right over here, let's take up a second example first of all, second of all. Okay, so we are having our second example. The second example is the same array that we had created just now. That is 5 7, no, it was it was 5 10 7 20. Yeah, this was the array if I remember it correctly. 5 10 7 and 20. Let me just see. Yeah, that's the array that we had created. So this is our input array that we are having right now. Now I want to insert an element x is equals to 3 at index is equals to, let's say, 2. Okay, I want to insert x is equals to 3 at an index that is 2. Or let's change the index. Last time as well it was 2. Let's take it up as 3. Okay, let's take it up as 3. I want to insert x at the position 3. So what will be the final answer, guys? Can somebody let me know? What will be the final answer if x is equals to 3 and the position that I want it to be like put up upon is the position 3? What will be the answer, guys? That's correct. So it will be 5, 10, 7. That is, now we are having the index 3, so that will be 3. And then 20 at the very end. Okay, 20 at the very end right over here. Now, if in the situation that we want to like insert an element into an array that is already filled up. Okay, so for example, let's take up the third example right over here itself. We'll take up this array directly. So that is 5, 10, 7, 3, and 20. As it able to see the capacity of the array. The capacity of the array that we are currently having is filled up. It's 5, and we have filled it up entirely with the elements that we require. Karish, just one glass of water. So in this particular case, if we want to like insert anything at any particular position, I don't care about which position it is or any element that I want to include into the array, I can't do that because it's a fixed size array. I cannot go beyond the number of elements that are currently present inside the array itself. Now in this particular scenario, I won't be inserting anything because I cannot insert anything into this array. It's the same thing as saying that I want to insert a knife into a wall. Like it's already filled up, there's no space. You cannot insert a knife into a wall. So that's the main thing, like you cannot do it. So I will just like ignore it for right now. I will just leave it for right now and I will just move on with my life. Okay, I cannot kill a wall. Okay, so that is the main thing. Like if the array is already filled up to its brim, you cannot insert a new element into the array. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Great. So let's now start with the like understanding what the kind of code that we have to write. Okay. Okay. Should we start on with understanding what is the type of code that we have to write? Before doing that, I need to make you guys understand a quick introduction about something called as functions in any programming language. Okay, so many a times, for example, the insert function. Okay, it is not something that you are doing just once and then moving on with your life. Maybe you have like 5 to 10 arrays that you're working upon where at different point of time in your entire program. Okay, so for example, like you are creating a program of for a particular school. Okay, you're creating a particular database for a particular school. Now students get added up to the school. Yes, in the starting of the program itself, the starting of the year, students might get added to. Some of the students might get added to in the middle of the break itself, in the summer break or something like that. Some of the students might be added to the school within the program itself because they are transferred from one school to the other or something like that. Now, in this particular scenario, when you want to, so you want to insert every student into an array to maintain the number of the names of the students who are currently there in the school itself. Now, in this particular scenario, you will have to use the insert element many a times. Okay, every time you want to insert a new student according to their like letters alphabetically or something like that, you'll have to do this a multiple number of times on a daily basis. Now, every time that you want to insert a student, you don't have to write the entire insert code. Like whatever the code that you'll be writing to insert an element into an array at a particular position, you don't have to write it again and again and again. That was just like if you are having like every school might have like almost 10,000 students that are joining it every year. You don't have to write the insert code 10,000 times. So there's something called as functions. Okay, now to understand functions, just think about it in such a way that it's like a power tool. Okay, so every time that you want to, so have you guys heard about IKEA furnitures? Okay, if you haven't heard about it, so it's like some furnitures that you can go and buy, but the assembly of the furniture, so it will give you all the screws, the nuts, the bolts, the wood, the material, everything. It will provide it to you guys already finished up, and then you have to assemble the entire furniture. So that's the same thing, right over here you can directly either like just sit and just like every single time use a screwdriver to screw everything up, or every single time, or you could directly like just go to a particular shop and just buy a ready-made furniture and just put it in your home. Okay, you can directly do that as well. So that's the same thing with functions as well. Instead of writing that code again and again every single time you want to use it, what you do is you create let's say a machine. Okay, you create a machine. Okay, so let's say this is your machine, this is your code, the insert code. Okay, let's write it down right over here. So this is your insert code right over here. So whatever code that you use to basically insert an element into an array, you have placed all that code inside this particular machine. Now, every time that you want to insert an element into an array, instead of writing this code again and again, what you're going to do is you're just going to provide this particular machine with some data, maybe the array that you want to insert the element to, maybe the element that you want to insert, the position that you want to insert it at, and so on and so forth. Whatever the information that you want, whatever the data that you want to use, you provide it to the insert machine, and that machine will directly give you the output. Okay, that machine will directly give you the output, and that output would be your like array that has been inserted with the new element. Okay, the array that has been inserted with the new element. Are you guys able to understand? Now this basic box, this machine that you created, that basically is a box that contains your insert code, is called as a function. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Yeah, once create and then call many times. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Yes, this is also referred to as reusability of a code as well. Okay, great. So once you have understood about functions in this particular like code, we are going to create our very first function, okay, that we are going to use as well. Now please try to remember this, that it's just a box that takes in the input that you are going to use inside the code itself, and then give you the output that you desire. Okay, so that is what we want to do. Okay. Okay, so let's get started with writing the code as well. We won't be wasting any more time. Okay, so let's go to an online Java ID that we are going to use just like the previous time as well. So let's go back. So I'm using the Programmers Online Java compiler right now to write the code that we are going to do. Let's see if it works correctly or not. Okay, so let's first check whether the code is correctly or running correctly or not. So we are getting hello world right over here, so we have no issues. So let's just remove this particular line of code. We don't require it right now. Okay, so we'll start by first creating the array in which we want to insert our elements. Okay, so we'll first use like create the array that is the fixed size array, inside of which we'll be inserting the elements that we want to do. So let's do that. Int arr is equals to new int 5. So what I'm doing right over here is I've created an array, an integer array of size 5. Okay, I'm creating an integer array of size 5. Priyanka Madhukar The portfolio project video has already been uploaded. Has been almost like 3 days, I guess. I think so. Even the like last day of submission, the portfolio project has also passed away. Let me just show it to you guys. See, why would I lie? Like I even have said, I haven't said anything. Give me something like challenge me a bit. Like what is this? Okay, it has been 1 day. It is already up and running, and almost 4,395 people have already finished it up. Priyanka Modukar, great. Just like open your eyes. See, I feel that you guys are much more tech savvy than me right now. Okay, like using YouTube, finding out videos, copying work from one assignment to other. Like you are in college, this should be your jam right now. It shouldn't be me who should be telling you guys that yeah, it has been posted. It should be you who should be telling me that yes, it has been posted 3 days back. I even didn't knew when it was posted. Okay. Indian students, this is the problem that I've seen only with India. Like in India, students are like, I don't want to say any bad words, but yeah, spoon feeding would be a great analogy for that. No issues in that. So we have created a fixed size array of size 5 inside Java using int arr. The name of the array, we have kept it as arr, and we have created that. Now there are two things that we want to figure out. First of all, the size of the array. So right now we are going to keep it as the first example where the size of the array was 3. Okay, and the cap of the array, that is the maximum number of elements that we can include in an array. If you remember it correctly, that was 5. Okay, because we are creating it right over here. Yes, once upon a time you are also an Indian kid. I am an Indian kid right now as well. I live in Bangalore. I've studied in my entire life in India itself, but yeah, I was not among those kids who liked spoon feeding. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. So but yeah, because when I'm teaching to like almost like 1 lakh students every month, I'm able to figure it out that most percentage of the students that come to the boot camps, or when I go to some colleges to teach, or that I'm taking training programs, or even some companies as well, I'm able to see that like they just want somebody to just like not even like make the food or something like that, just like crush the food and just put it down inside their throats. They don't even want to chew it like baby birds or something like that. You won't be able to learn anything if you are doing something like that. You have to make sure that you are involved in the process of learning. Okay, always try to do that. Okay, so right over here, let's first create like int n, that is our size of the array. So the size of the array, I'm keeping it as 3. Okay, the size of the array, we are keeping it as 3 because that will be the number of elements that will be there in the array. The maximum capacity of the element, okay, capacity or cap, okay, maximum capacity of the element that we are going to use of the array that we are going to have is 5, because as we have created the int 5, that is the maximum capacity of the array. So we are going to have the int cap as 5 as specified right over here. Okay, the next particular thing that we have to do is we have to insert the elements in the array. Okay, so right now I've said that the number of elements that will be there in the array would be 3. So we'll be inserting the elements in the array. So we'll be having arr, and then at the 0th index we'll be having the element 5. Then we are having arr. At the first index we'll be having the element as 10. Okay, then we are having arr, and then at the second index we'll be having the element as 20. If I am not wrong, that was the array that we had created. Can you guys remind me? Priyanka, I'm a human being. Like if there has been a death in the family, my concern would be going to my family when it needs me, not publishing a video on time. And if I am suffering from COVID, you are not my first priority. It's me. So I really don't care. If you want to focus upon the class, you can, or otherwise just get out of the class. Like I'm not forcing you to attend it or anything. It was my duty to publish the video as soon as possible, and I've tried my best so that I'm able to do that. Okay. So what was I saying just before that? So is this the element that we created, guys? Can somebody remind me if this was the example? Yeah, 5, 10, and 7. Okay, great. I checked it from the live chat itself. So okay, that's great. So we are having our array that we have created of 3 elements, 5, 10, and 20. We are having the cap, that is the capacity of the array, as 5, and the number of elements in the array as 3. So we have created it out. So before writing our code and everything, we will just print it out to check whether everything is working properly or not. Okay, so let's have the system.out .println, and we are going to print before insert. Check it up. Let's pick up a space as well right over here. And next what we are going to do is we are going to create a loop. So in the last class, if you remember it, on the day 2, we have seen how to use a loop when we was going through a searching parameter, that a linear search that we created. So we created a loop in which we had an iterator, that is the I, that goes along the indexes of the elements present on the array. And right now, instead of searching something, we want to print every element that is present in the array. Okay, now the size of the array is 3, so we want to go up till the index 2, 0, 1, and 2. We want to include 2 as well. We don't want to like go up till 5 because there's no element after that, so we'll be using n as the like highest number of the iterator that we want. We are going to have our for element for int I is equals to 0, that is the 0th index. Okay, I is less than n and I plus plus. Okay, so we have created an iterator right over here. Okay, we want to create an iterator right over here. So I is equals to 0. We are going to start from the 0th index, and then we are going to go up till the nth element, that is the 3rd index. So we are want to go 0, 1, and 2. We don't want to include the 3rd index. That is the reason why I is less than n. Okay, I should be less than n. Okay, so right over here, let's create this. We are having system dot out dot print, and we don't want to go into the new line, so we are just going to have print itself. Okay, so when you are using println, okay, this, as you're able to see, there are 2 different lines that we have written right over here. You're having a system.out.println, and then you are having the system.out.print right over here. Now the difference between the both of the same is print ln. Basically the full form of print ln is print new line new. Basically, like, you want to print every single time that you're having print ln, you're having it in a brand new line. Okay, when you are just writing print, okay, it will continue printing the elements in the same line. It will continue printing the elements in the same line itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand the difference, guys? Please do let me know. Please increase the volume. Okay, is my volume a bit low for you guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Like, when you're having print ln, every time that you're writing print ln, it will print something in a new line. Okay, it will print something in a new line, one after the other. Whereas if you're writing print, okay, system.out.print, you're printing it in the same line. Okay, please keep this in mind, because many a times the output that is required would be in a very specific way, and when that way is hit, like, you have to make sure that you are, whether you have to print something in the same line or you want to go in separate lines itself. Now when we are printing the array, we want to print the elements in the same line. Okay, when we are printing the elements in the array, we want to print it in the same line itself. So we are going to introduce system.out.print and then every single element in the array. So that is arri. Okay, that is arri. Of course, after arri, we want to have some space as well. So we'll be keeping a space at the end. So it will be arri, whatever arri is. Okay, whether it be like the first one is 5 and then a space, and then 10, then a space, and then 20, then a space. Okay, now this particular property is called as concatenation. Okay, this particular property is called as concatenation, where you are joining 2 strings together to print something out. Now arri, when you're printing it out, it is considered to be as a string itself, because you cannot print a number, you print a string out there. So when you are doing arri plus a space, what you're going to print out is ARRI, that is 5, and then a space after it, because you don't want 5, 10, 20 to be all sticking together when you're printing it out. You want some space after every single element. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Jairaj Jadeja, please watch the video. I have no clue, that is handled by the management itself, so I won't be able to give you a proper answer to the question, but in the video itself it has been included what is the deadline and everything. Okay, great. So let's do one thing. Let's run this particular line of code. Let's see if it works properly or not. As you're able to see, we are getting an output inside the output screen as before insert 5, 10 and 20. Okay, we are getting an output as 5, 10 and 20 right over there. Okay, so we have like created, okay, we have created our array and we have printed it out. We have checked that it's working absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. Now what we want to do is we want to select like what do we want to insert. Okay, so let's try to do that now. Okay, so let's have our int x. So first of all, let's go back to the next line. Okay, we want to continue from the next line itself before insert, then the array, and whatever the answer is, we want to go to the next line first of all. So we'll have a, let's say, system.out.println again. So I don't want to write it again. I'll just copy paste it from here. Yes, I am very alsy. It's fine. Let me just remove this from right over here. And yeah, now we can continue. So we will have int x. Okay, that is the element that we want to insert. We want to insert the element x at the 7th. Okay, so we want to have the index, sorry, we want to have the value 7 to be inserted into the array, and we want to insert it at the index of 2. Okay, we want to insert it at the index of 2. So int pos is equals to 2. Okay, we want it to be inserted at the index of 2 itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. We want to insert the value 7 at the index 2, just like the example. Okay, the example that we had seen out there. Now again, we'll be creating our after insert. And we'll be having our so when you're inserting an element in an array, what is the only thing that is going to change about the array property? What is the only property that is going to change about the array? Can somebody like just think about it? When you're inserting something into an array, what is the only property that is going to change about the array? Can somebody let me know? Just think about it. If you're inserting something into an array, what is the only thing about that array that is going to change? Rishabh Singh Pal, if it's not a like mistake that you have written right over here, but the answer is absolutely clever. That's the size, that is n. Okay, that is number of elements in the array would change, because if there were 3 elements in the first, when you're inserting 7 at the position 2, index 2, you will be having the number of elements in the array as 4. So now n would be changing to 4. So you need to get, like, when you are inserting something, you need to get that okay, it has changed or not. That is the main question that we are going to have right over there. Okay, so we are going to take up n is equals to insert. That is the function that we are going to create. So we are going to leave it right over here. We'll come back. We'll try to understand this particular statement at a later point of time. First, let's try to create the function. Okay, we'll come back to this particular statement. We'll try to understand it, but this is not the right time to understand it. Okay, so first create our question itself, so that the function itself, that you are able to understand it much more clearly. So let us just create the function. Okay, so now this particular function is going to return an index itself. Okay, that is the size of the element. Okay, that is what it size of the array, size of the new array. Once it has inserted the element into the array, what is the size of the new array? That is what it is going to return. Okay, let us go back to our image. So instead of returning us the array, right over here, it is going to return to us n. Okay, it is going to return to us n back. That is the new size of the array. Okay, it is going to return to us the new size of the array itself, because we already have the array. And the insert is going to happen in the original array itself. Okay, the insert is going to happen in the original array itself. Okay, so we already have the array. What we need to know is what is the new size of the array. Okay, we just need to know what is the new size of the array. Okay, we just need to know what is the new size of the array, that is n. So that is what the function will be returning back to us. Now as you're able to see, n is basically an integer. N is basically an integer out here. Okay, n is basically your size of the array, and the size of the array is the integer. So the function itself is made of the int type. The function itself is made of the int type because it is returning to us an element that is of the type integer, that is the size of the array. Okay, are you guys able to get this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to get this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to get this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So now just think about this. If in the case that the array is already filled up, okay, if in the case that the array is already at the maximum capacity, that is the, I think so, the array that we were talking about was 5, 10, 7, 320, if I'm not wrong. If it's wrong, like just take this as the example itself. So if the array is already filled up to the brim, okay, so we don't want to insert anything into this array. Okay, we don't want to insert anything into this particular array. We want to just continue like with the code itself. We have to print this particular array as the answer, because we cannot insert anything into this array. Now if this is the case, okay, the number of elements in the array would be the exact same as the capacity of the element array. Are you guys able to understand this? In this particular scenario where the number of elements is already up to the brim, where the array is already filled up, the number of elements in the array, that is 5, is already equal to the capacity of the array, and you cannot insert any element into it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. The number of elements in the array is already equal to the capacity of the array itself. Okay, you cannot insert any more elements into the array. So in this particular case, we don't want the insert to run. Okay, we don't want insert as a function to run. Okay, so if is capacity or total number of elements, dude, like capacity. The capacity of the element array is basically cap, and the number of elements in the array is n. Okay, that is the reason why we had n is equals to 3, whereas cap was 5 in our example. Okay, so right over here, if this is the scenario, we don't want the insert to run, we don't want our function to run. Now whenever you are returning anything back, okay, so when you want a function not to run anymore, okay, whenever you want to exit from a function itself, the statement that you have to write is return and then some number. Okay, return and then n. Let's say that we are returning n right over here. So if we are having, if n is equals to cap, okay, if n is equals to cap, then return n. Okay, so what we are checking up, the first thing that we are checking up in the insert function is that if the number of elements present in the array is equal to the capacity of the array itself, in that particular situation, just return n. That is what we needed. That is the number of elements present in the array itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so let us take up only this particular example right now, and let us look at the code and how it runs. Okay, so if I'm coming to my insert function that we have created right over here, we're having if n is equals to cap. Okay, then return n. Now in this particular scenario, what are the two things that you need? You need n and cap. Okay, what are the two things that we need right now? We need n as well as cap. Okay, both of these values we need, because this is a separate function. This function needs to get these values from right over here when you're calling this particular function out. So to use this function, okay, when you're creating the function, you're just defining the function, just saying that, okay, this particular person is let's say Zenitsu. Okay, so you're just saying that this particular person is Zenitsu. Okay, this is what you're saying when you're writing the code up on top. This is what you're creating. You're just saying that this particular function is, this particular person is Zenitsu. Okay, but when you're going down below, when you're coming to this particular line of code, okay, you're calling this function. You're asking Zenitsu to help you guys out. Okay, some demons are basically like behind you and you want Zenitsu to basically kill them off. So you need to call Zenitsu. You know who he is because it has been defined for you. But when you want to use it, you are going to call that function. Okay, you are going to call Zenitsu. Okay, so that is the exact same thing that you're doing right now. Now you need to provide Zenitsu with some inputs as well that he needs to use to kill those demons off. Maybe like this particular demon is of like the top demon ranks, or basically this is like a moon level demon or something like that. You need to provide him with some details that he is going to use inside the function itself. Okay, he needs to use these particular, that is n and cap, he needs to use them. So you need to provide Zenitsu with this particular information. So to do that, we are going to provide him with int n as well as int cap. These are the two information that you're going to use right over here. So you need to provide him with n as well as cap. Okay, these are the two particular information that you're going to provide the insert call, okay, with, so that it is able to use it within its code. Okay, so now in this particular example, we are going to change the example to n is equals to 5, cap is equals to 5, and we are going to insert the rest of the elements as well. Let's say arr3 is equals to 3, and arr4 is equals to, let's say, 6. Okay, so this is the array that we have created. So 5, 10, 20, 3 and 6. This is of capacity 5, and the number of elements in the array is also 5. So now when I am so I have to print the elements out as well at the end. Okay, so once we have done this, we have to print all the elements out. So that will be the exact same particular code that we have to use. So we will just copy it from right over here and paste it, because the number of elements in the array, you just have to print it out. Okay, so now the n that is getting returned, the new size of the array. So here the size of the array isn't changing, but this new size of the array is what you are returning when you're calling this particular function. So basically when you're calling Zenitsu, it is returning back with the head of the demon, means like the demon that he had killed. Okay, so he's returning back with it and he's giving it to you. The same thing is happening right over here as well. When you're calling this particular function, whatever the function is returning, you are able to get it. Okay, right now it is returning n, and that n you are saving it, that is the new size of the array, you're saving it back inside the variable n. Okay, the new size of the array, whatever the insert function call is giving back to you, you are saving it again, you are updating the value of n. Okay, you are updating the value of n. Here it is not getting updated because n is equals to cap, so nothing is getting updated anyhow. Okay, but that is what is happening, and we are going to use this new value of n, the updated value of n, to basically print out our array. So if you are running this particular line of code, let's see what happens. Okay, so we have got an error right away. Okay, so I haven't put up a semicolon, so let us run this again. Okay, did I leave another semicolon out there? Missing return. Okay. So yeah, let's just return some random value right over here. N is equals to cap. Let's check this out. Okay, Right over here, as you're able to see, we are having before insert 5, 10, 23, and 6. After insert 5, 10, 23, and 6. That is, the array hasn't changed at all. There hasn't been any kind of update inside the array, because we cannot do that, because n is equals to cap. That is the number of elements present in the array is equals to the capacity of the array. So we cannot update it. Okay. So that was one of the basic particular thing that we have to check. So that is the reason why we have the first statement as if n is equals to cap, to basically rule out this particular possibility. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is we want to insert, okay, if the array is not filled up. Okay, we want to insert something if the array is not filled up. So let's go back to our previous example. Let us change it back to n is equals to 3 and our array as 5, 10, 20, and we will write our code after this. Now in this particular scenario, what do you have to do? Okay, what is the exact thing that you will be doing? Let's go back to our drawing board and let's try to understand this. The question that we are having right now is 5, 10, and 20, and we want to insert, so let us just draw it out. So we are having 5, 10, and 20 right over here, and we want to insert x is equals to 7 at index or position is equals to 2. Okay, at index 2 we want to insert it. Now how would you go? Like, I'm not talking about if these were cards that have been given to you. Okay, these were cards that had been given to you. Okay, so you are having like 5, 10, and 23 different cards out there. So you're having like this 5 card, this 10 card, this 20 card, and these two positions are empty, and you are having another card that is 7. How would you go about inserting 7 at the index, let's say 1? Okay, 2 is very easy to do. Let's go with index 1 itself, so that it's a bit more difficult. Okay, we want to go with index 1. How would you go about doing that? Can somebody just think about it? Can somebody just think about it in such a particular way? If you want to insert the card 7 at the index 1, what is the way that you will be going up out and about with it? Like just like a normal kid. I'm not talking about a programming or anything like that. Okay, I'm just talking about normal, like as a kid, if these are the cards, how would you go about doing this? Okay, at once you can only pick up one card. Okay, at once you can only pick up one card itself. So how would you go about doing this? Exactly, Rishabh, we will be shifting the elements. Okay, we'll be shifting the elements. Now we know that we want to insert the element right over here. We want to insert the element 7 right over here. So we need to make space. We need to make an empty space right over here so that we are able to at once we can only pick up one card. You cannot just to swap a card. You need to pick up 2 cards and swap it. You cannot do that. Okay, you have to pick up only one card at a time. Okay, so for that particular reason, what you will be going is you will be shifting the elements or moving the elements so that you are able to create a space right over there. Okay, at index 1. So what you are going to do first of all is you are going to pick up the card 20 and shift it to the next position. Okay, you want to pick up the card 20 and shift it to the next position right over there. So if you are doing that, then the new array that would look like something like this. You have picked up 20 from right over here. And you will be placing 20 right over here. That is the first step that you will be doing. So you will be 20 is placed right over here. Then 10 as well. You will be shifting 10 from here to here, at this particular position. So you will be shifting the card of 10 from right over here and placing it up here. And now you are having an empty space right over here. So then you will be shifting your 7 to this particular position. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. This is how you will be able to shift the elements one by one up till the position that you want, at which you want to insert that element, is made available to you. Okay, so now we need to code this exact same thing. Just think about it. This is not something that is related to code or anything like that. This is normal fucking common sense. Okay, you don't have to do anything about it. Now you want to, whatever you have done right over here with your hands or maybe with your digital pad or something like that, you want to do the exact same thing just with code. the exact same thing. Okay, so let's just think about it. What is the for loop that we will have to write to be able to do this? Okay, so we started from the last element in the array. We started from the last element in the array. Now the number of elements in the array is n. Okay, n is the number of elements in the array. What was the index of 20 originally? What was the index of 20 originally in the original array? Okay, that is 5, 10 and 20. What was the n? It was equal to 3. Okay, n was originally equal to 3. What was the index of 20, guys? Can somebody let me know? What was the index of 20, guys? Can somebody let me know? That's absolutely clever, guys. That was 2. So the index of 20 was 2. So the last element, we started out from the last element. That is, if n was the size of the array, the index of the last element was n minus 1. We started out from n minus 1 and we went up till the position that we wanted the index, okay, the particular element to be inserted. Okay, we want to insert the element at the first position. So we started from n minus 1 and we went up till POS. Am I right? We wanted the shifting that needs to be done, that is 10 was present at the original POS, that is the index at which we want to insert the element, that is index 1. So we want to start from n minus 1, want to go till, not up till we want to do it for the position as well, the place where we want to insert, that is 1, because we did it for 10 as well. Okay, so we want to go up till POS, and for every element, okay, for every element that exists, we want to shift it to the next particular position. So for example, for 20, we shifted it from the index 2 to the index 3. Am I right? We shifted 20 for index 2 to 3. For 1, we shifted the index from 1 to 2. Am I right? For the index for 10 as an element, we want to shift the element from 1 to 2. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So now what we want to do, we want to start at n minus 1. We want to go up till POS. I want to do ARR I plus 1. That is the next element is equal to ARR I. Okay, that is, if we are starting at n minus 1, that is at 2, then ARR 3 is equals to ARR 2. That is ARR 3 is now 20. Then we want to do ARR 2 is equals to ARR 1. That is now at index 2, we are having 10. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. And this is what we want to code as well. So it will look something like this. This for loop will look something like this. So it will be for int I is equals to n minus 1, because we want to start at n minus 1. I is greater than equal to POS, because that is the position at which we want to insert the element. Okay, I minus minus, not plus plus, because we are decreasing the number. We are starting from the right hand corner and we are going towards the left. So we want to do I minus minus. We want to decrease the value of I. Okay, that is I is equal to I minus 1. Okay, we are decreasing the value of I by 1. Okay, and then inside the for loop, we are going to have ARR I plus 1 is equals to ARR I. That is the next element is equals to the previous element. Okay, and that is our for loop right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So this is the process in which we were shifting in the original array, whatever the elements were, we were shifting the tiles. This is the process that we have replicated using code. Okay, so we will just go back and do it again. Okay, so right over here, we are going to write for int I is equals to n minus 1. I is greater than equal to POS. I minus minus. ARR I plus 1 is equals to ARR I. Now, again, when we are writing this particular code, as you are able to see, we need ARR as well. In the insert function, we need ARR, that is the array as well. So we need to, inside the calling of the function itself, we need to specify that we require. So Zenitsu basically requires the ARR, that is the array as well. So we are going to provide it with the array. So ARR right over here. I'm so sorry. um, so we'll be providing it with arrr, and we are going to put it up right over here as well. So it will be int arr, that is an array, so we need to specify it as an array type, and that is done right over here as well. Okay. So we have shifted all the elements to the next element itself. Okay, that is also what we have done. Now what was the last step? Okay, if you remember, after shifting the elements in the original array, what was the last step, guys? Can somebody remind me? Can somebody let me know what was the last step that we had? Yes, Karan Singh Bhisht, you are absolutely clever. Okay, we want to insert the element. Okay, the last thing that we want to do is insert the element. We have created the space using this particular function. We have created the space. Now we want to insert the element. That is the last step. That is, we want to insert arr at pos. Okay, that is the position. We want to insert x, that is the element. Okay, now again, for inserting the x right over there, we need to use x as well, as this the position that we want to insert it as. So both of the things we need to provide it to our new function. So we want to provide it with int pos as well as int x, that is the element that we want to insert. We want to provide the same down below as well. So pos and x right over here. Okay, so and then once it has inserted the element in the array, okay, once it has inserted the element in the array, what do we return? What is the new size of the array? Can somebody let me know what is the new size? So once we have inserted the new array, we have done all the changes that is required. What is the new size of the array? Can somebody let me know? This function needs to return the new size of the array. That's correct, Karan Singh Best. That is n plus 1. Okay, so right over here, n plus 1 is what we need to return back. Okay, so that will be the new size of the array that we are going to return back to via the function itself. Now, once we've done this, okay, everything has been done properly. There's no problem right over here. Let us run our code. So our original array should be 5, 10, and 20. We are going to insert 7 at the position 2. So let us run it. So as you're able to see, our code is functioning absolutely fine. Okay, we are having the before insert, that is 5, 10, and 20. And then after insert, that is 5, 10, 7, and 20 back again. Okay, so we can even change it, like we can change the index to be 1 instead of 2. And we can run this once again just to make sure that everything is working fine. So it is 5, 7, 10, and 20. It's working fine. We can make the position as 0 as well. That is like inserted at the very first place itself, that is at the 0 index. So you're able to see we are starting from 7, then 5, then 10, and then 20 right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So once that you have understood this particular fact as well, so this is how you are able to write the entire insert code using Java. Okay, so now I'll be creating the attendance and everything. Do you guys have any problems or something like that? Please do let me know. Let me just create the attendance form for you guys. Give me a second. Arrays and data types. This is day 4. Okay, responses are open. Send link, copy, var generator. N+1 not understood. Monogaming, like I said, like at the end, what we wanted to do was we wanted to return back the new size of the array. Now, if the original size of the array was n, that is 3, when you're inserting a new element into the array, what will be the new size of the array, guys? It will be n+1. That is now 4. Okay, when you're inserting a new element, the size of the array becomes 1 more than what it was previously. We are returning n+1 because we already know that we are inserting just one element into the array. So we just want to increase that number of elements in the array by n+1. So that is what we are returning back. That is the new size of the array itself. Okay. Okay. Day 4 AUG. Load. So this is today's attendance link, guys. You can scan the attendance link and go further with it. I hope that you guys will be able to fill up the attendance form as well. Okay. 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 Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so we'll end today's class right over here. We'll meet again tomorrow, again with a new concept, again like going a little bit further into arrays as well. Okay, so we'll try to understand all the operations on arrays in the next few days so that you guys are able to build up the conceptual knowledge of arrays, and then we'll be moving further with it. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, guys. It was great to see you back. Thank you, guys. Thank you.